In depth this morning, you know, traditional banks have long offered a very low rate for a return on your savings account, but there are a few options for people who want more, at least until now. Financial analyst Lance Roberts of StreetTalkLive.com joins me now to talk about this relatively new phenomena called online banking. Is it because of the ease that people are choosing online banking because they don't want to get in their car and go down and be waiting in line at the drive-through and deposit the money?
Well, sure. I mean, it's so much easier to be able to go online, to pay bills, to transfer funds. You know, and you can do it 24 hours a day. So it's the ease and the convenience. It's also cheaper to provide that service for traditional banks than to have a full staff of tellers, and they can reduce payroll and overhead costs.
Are there better returns for your money online?
It depends. And the answer to the question is yes. You can get better returns online, but you have to be careful with what you're doing. In other words, just because somebody's offering you a higher rate of return on a CD, for instance, you have to be aware of the risk. The 10-year Treasury is currently paying somewhere around 3.5%. If a bank is offering you 5.5%, an online bank is offering you 5.5%, you have to ask yourself, how are they giving me that extra rate of return? What risk am I taking? You know, just recently with the subprime crisis, we saw General Electric, for instance, break the buck with one of their money market funds. In other words, they were going to return back less than $1 in their money market fund. That can happen when there are financial issues that come up. So you just always want to be careful that you have to ask yourself, why am I getting this extra return? And then also always make sure that the online bank or online brokerage firm are either FDIC insured or SIPC insured.
So how do you protect yourself from any potential scams?
Well, the most important thing to do is to always protect your online information. You know, passwords and logins, those type of things. Make sure that those aren't laying around somewhere, that you're not storing them on your computer, where if somebody hacks your computer, they're going to have access to all of your information. But more importantly, you've got to be careful of phishing. And a lot of people will get emails, and it'll look very legitimate. It'll be an email from your bank, it looks like. It'll be Nations Bank or Bank of America, and it'll have the logos and everything. It'll look completely legitimate, saying, oh, we've had a problem at our bank, and we just want to verify your credit card information. And people will respond to that thinking they're responding to their bank. They're not. They're responding to somebody out there that is grabbing that information and using it.
How do you protect yourself from companies that may go bust? About a decade ago, there were a lot of online companies that just went down.
Right. Well, first thing is always make sure that they're a large company. You know, for instance, if you're doing online banking, I would choose somebody that was a major national bank, a major money center bank, Citigroup, Bank of America, Nations Bank, those type of things. You know, if you're going with a very small startup entity, you're taking on much more risk. Again, the best thing to always look for, though, with an online brokerage firm or an online bank is the insurance. If they're FDIC insured or SIPC insured, it will give you a little bit more security that there's some financial strength behind those institutions.
And that's the best way to go.
That's at least a start. Investigation is always very important.
Lance Roberts, thank you so very much for joining us here on Fox 26 Morning News. Great information for folks who are trying to think about online banking. Patty.